Robert Vita, yes?
How does the Singapore circuit differ from the Monaco circuit?
How does the Singapore circuit differ from the Monaco circuit?
Actually, I think this track is have something very similar to Monaco. Of course, without driving it, it's very difficult to say something. Most probably after Friday free practice, I will discover new things, but from outside it looks pretty similar. I think the common facts are that it's very narrow, a lot of very slow corners, and we will see if the grip level is similar, if the bumpiness of Monaco is also here, because Monaco is very bumpy, especially some parts are extremely bumpy, so it's quite difficult to say something more, but most probably Friday we will have a bit more information.
Thank you. Yes, over there.
This is a question directed at Peter.
Yes.
Are you happy with your current performance this season, and what do you think you will be doing to improve yourself for the next season?
So the question to Robert is, are you happy with your current form this season, and what will you do to improve for the next season?
Well, I mean, my performance in a big part of it depends on the team performance. So all in all, I think we have good season. But as a race driver and as a sportsman, you would like to perform better. And as I said, this is common work with the team to become stronger and stronger. And I think this season we did very good races. We did also some races where we could do much better job, but that's normal. You cannot be always 100%. And for next year, I think first of all we have to see where I will be racing for, and then we will try to work as hard as possible to do the best results as possible.
I got a question here for Nick Heifeld. How do you stay cool and focused during a race when there are so many things going on? Cars driving around, trying to overtake you, accidents happening all over the place. How do you stay focused?
Well, actually that's something that you start to learn quite early. As Robert said, it's best to start young. I started with karting when I was 8 years old, and that's where you already get the best practice. You do races, say already with 20 or 30 cars. They are even closer together, you touch each other, and you start to learn to take a lot of things into consideration, to know where to best place yourself on the circuit, comparison to competition. You know what to look forward in terms of how the tires progress, and you try to have a look at the weather. So it's just learning to do it, and the way you ask the question, if I would think about it like this, it would be difficult. You don't sit in the car needing to concentrate on all that. It's more comes natural because of all the training, and you shouldn't need to think about it when you're in the car.
Questions? Over the back?
I have a 15-year-old. He drives F1. He loves speed. He'll never be a driver. I'd like to ask whether F1 has some responsibility towards young people to not encourage speeding as a glamorous activity. And how, as a parent, I teach my son that when he gets a driving license, he's been on a go-kart track. How do I encourage him and steer him in the right direction towards believing that speed is not necessarily a good thing or a glamorous thing?
Your question is about a 15-year-old son, and he loves F1. And the question is how can Formula One teach them about responsibility and about not speeding and driving in a dangerous way? Can I ask Dr. Tyson to answer that, please?
Well, for BMW, I can say motorsport is not just Formula One. We cover a wide area of racing activities, including a very successful young drivers program, which is called Formula BMW. This is the best established entry-level Formula category worldwide. 3 series, Formula BMW Europe, Formula BMW Asia Pacific and Americas. all these series run as a support program to Formula One. So the young drivers, age 15, 16, 17, coming from go-kart racing, they learn a lot about professional racing, motor racing. They get a comprehensive coaching program, including not just how to drive the car, but also how to set it up, data analysis, physical training, nutrition, how to deal with the marketing issues, the media. So basically, they learn everything it takes to be successful on your own in the world of professional motorsport. And if you see that, if you see the kids develop in this Formula BMW series, it's really exciting to follow that. And it's amazing to see how they progress then after that. We have some drivers in Formula One already, with Nico Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel, Christian Klien has been in Formula BMW, and there are many more to come in the coming years, which shows that this program is very, very successful. It is not inexpensive. We spend quite a lot of money on that, but it really works well.
Thank you. Yes, sir, over the back.
With a technical question to Robert and Nick. At the launch, at the start of the race, what's the rev level of your engine typically? You know, the launch control. And what's the reason that some cars, some teams always have a better launch than others? You know, is it just technically pure? Is a lot of research going into this area? And how do you think you stand in the BMW car?
So the question is, at the start of the race, what is the rev level when you're just starting off? Yeah. And why is it that some have a better start than others? The question is posed to both Robert and Nick. Either one of you can answer it.
Well, in the past we really had launch control where we just pushed a button and the systems did everything. But as for this year, that has changed. It has become more difficult, especially to be consistent. And therefore we have changed quite a couple of things over the season, and we're still working pretty hard to improve things. And in the past, like in the last 2 years, we had probably the best starts in the grid. And now we're not the best anymore, so we're working very hard on that. There's also more combination now of the driver controlling things, but also together with the car, the clutch, the engine and everything, putting the power onto the street as well as possible. And actually just lately on the last test we tried some new paths to improve things, and in terms of the RPM we are holding, I cannot tell you exactly what we are doing, but I think it does range in the field from 9,000 to 15,000, that's what I would guess.
Right, thank you. So, yeah.
So, Rob, do you stay driving at night cause any major problems for you, or is this mainly just for spectators?
So, question to Robert, do you expect driving at night to pose a particular unknown risk? Robert?
I'm not expecting any problem. We call it night race, but for the drivers it will be not really night. Yesterday evening we saw a huge amount of the lights, and actually I spoke with some MotoGP drivers that they had already a race in the beginning of the season with the lights and in the night, and they say there is not really big issue. Some of them they were using dark visor, so it means that visibility was very good. And additionally, here in Singapore, I think we have 2 or 3 times stronger lights than they had in Qatar. So I'm not expecting any issue. Of course, it will be something new which we will have to discover again in the first free practice, in the early laps. How is visibility, how is braking points. You never know how your eyes will react to the new situation. And the additional question of one is the rain, which in case of rain it might be a big problem, but we don't know.